Welcome back to the Crypto Report. I'm Blacksea, and I have another video for you guys. Today I want to talk about Bitcoin, take a look at Solana and Crocoin because there's some interesting things happening in the charts. So without further ado, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's hop into this video. So guys, right now Bitcoin is trading at $68,247. We are pretty much range bound after our little bit of a correction, I'll call it, from the new all-time high of $75,000, which is pretty exciting to see. But right now we are starting to get that consolidation. We're seeing some altcoins perform very, very well, like Solana. Solana has been just ripping and roaring. I think we got to about $198. We can take a look closer to that later on when we get to the charts. But Bitcoin dominance trading at 51.83%. When you exclude stablecoins, we're sitting at basically 53.83%. Basically where we've been at for the past couple weeks. We've seen a half a point deviation to the upside or the downside, but we are getting kind of pinned when it comes to Bitcoin dominance. I do expect a major move here at some point leading into this halving, and to be honest with you guys, we're only about 5 weeks away. Very important to pay attention to that, guys. But let's take a look at Bitcoin, because Bitcoin right now has started to make this spillover. We're looking at the 4-hourly time frame, and we're starting to move into this green box that I have place that I've been talking about for the past couple weeks about how every time we try to break previous highs, previous cycle highs, we sometimes find ourselves trading around that high in the current cycle. To break above the previous high, the previous cycle high, can take up to about 24 days, guys. That's exactly what we're seeing. We did get daily candle closures above 75,000, but I think it's more so about 72,000. We can look at that in a second. But we are starting to come back into this channel. We'll probably trade here a little bit more. I am paying close attention to this yellow trend line right here. If we decide to spill over here and test it, we probably will come a little bit down here and maybe, just maybe touch that 59,000 and create a little bit more of a correction. I am leaning a little bit more bearish right now. But I will say that I think that right now, where we're at in the market is kind of uncharted territory, and you should expect max confusion and price action that doesn't really make a lot of sense. And I think that is to be expected right now. When we look over the daily, it's kind of showing a little bit more of a clear picture here. We are starting to get some bearish divergence here. We're starting to come down. We're testing this yellow trend line, but we could just get a nice bounce up if somebody decides to smack that bid button with a large move to the upside on Monday. But I do think that this is good, guys. I think that we need to see a little bit of a cool-off period. The market is insanely frothy. And I'll tell you what, since we've seen this little move to the downside, it's cooled off fast. The overall market sentiment is not nearly as ridiculous as it was a week ago. But I do think that we need to come down a little bit, trade sideways, just cool off. I'm not saying make a large correction to anything crazy like 49,000, nothing like that. But if we do get our pre-halving correction, then guess what, guys? The 4-year cycle is back on the table, in my opinion. I don't think that the 4-year cycle will be broken if we do get that capitulation to the downside, that pre-halving year correction. And that means that if the 4-year cycle is still intact, then we have much more upside. We have longer and higher, probably throughout the year of 2024, leading into 2025, which is very exciting. We want to see a little bit of a cool-off. We need the RSI to reset. We need the market to get less frothy so that we can send it higher. We need the leverage to get wiped out. It's very interesting. But we are seeing altcoins make some big moves, especially there's some altcoin pairings with Bitcoin. Sol versus BTC, Crow versus BTC looks really good. There's many coins right now that look like they are due for a significant breakout towards Bitcoin, that they look like they're bottoming out. And Solana has been doing just that. I mean, guys, this is insane. Making this move to the upside while Bitcoin is correcting. I'll be honest, it's classic Solana. It's classic Solana to be making these big moves while it being a market outlier. That's what it does. It does this. And then when everything else is pumping, it likes to cool off and consolidate. But then when everything is coming down, Solana usually stands out. It's I've been trading Solana for a long time, and it is a very interesting coin to trade. It does not follow many of the other altcoins. It trades in a very strange way. But that being said, we still are making big, big gains. I mean, from this level, I think we dipped down to about 160, and now we are all the way up to about $200, almost a 20% gain. It's absolutely incredible, absolutely incredible. I think we probably hit $200, but the reason why I really want to take a look at some of these altcoins right now is because I said over on Twitter. You can follow me at 333 Blacksea. Also, you can follow me on Instagram at 333 Blacksea. I'm doing a giveaway of 100 Crow when I reach 100 followers to one of the followers. So go follow me there. But I said over on Twitter that if we see Solana moon while Bitcoin is coming down, it's an indication of we're moving into the rotational market, and we'll see altcoin season. And I know that may be contrary to my thesis on Bitcoin dominance moving to the upside as we get closer to the halving. But just because Bitcoin dominance comes up doesn't mean that all of the altcoins will underperform. And just because Bitcoin dominance comes down doesn't mean that all of the altcoins will perform well. There will be outliers. That's why I was saying you need to pay attention to the Bitcoin versus Solana and the Ethereum versus Solana, all these pairings. You can't just be looking at just the chart. You need to see when they're bottoming out and when they look like they're ready for a breakout. And that's exactly what happened here. Solana looked bottomed out, coming up to the upside. Coin looks very, very good. It bottomed out. We made this big move to the upside and probably will continue. But I will say that Coin is a little bit different than Solana and some of these other altcoins because, in my opinion, Coin is kind of tied to when the mania and the masses come to the space. And until then, I think that Coin will be a lagger. I think it will stay behind until there's a lot of hype, until people are really, really FOMOing into crypto. Probably a little bit later on, maybe halfway throughout this year, or when we get to around that $100,000 price level, when there's real, real FOMO, and people don't feel like they're going to get burned by crypto. I think that the problem right now is we're not going higher straight to the moon, even though the ETFs are here, which we did make massive, massive gains since that's happened. But I think that it's premature to have really, really large rallies right now because a lot of the people that were around in the previous cycle, they got burned, and it's been too long. It's been not long enough of a period of time. That's what I'm trying to say, since the previous cycle top. And a lot of people got burned, and they're not ready to lose more money, to be honest. But they'll come back when we're at 100,000. There's FOMO, and it's going crazy. That's probably when they'll enter back in. They'll probably get wrecked again. That's just how the market works. It's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. But that's probably how it will play out. But in my opinion, I think that we probably continue this sideways consolidation, cool off for a little bit, which is very, very necessary. We need that very much. And then if we see some altcoins rallying, if we see Solana continue to make this move to the upside, it probably will be an indication that we'll see more altcoins follow in its path. That we'll see more of a rotational market, and we'll see some of these altcoins make some big moves, which is very exciting, especially if Bitcoin stays around this $68,000 to $65,000 price level. It's going to be very bullish for altcoins. But guys, if you like this type of content, please like this video, subscribe to the channel right now. Getting closer and closer to 16K. Thank you so much for that. And like I said earlier, follow me on Instagram at 333 Blacksea. I'm going to give away $100 worth of Crow. That's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.